And good evening, Commanders. Welcome to the Elite Dangerous Extended Lore Tour Formidine Rift Expedition thing that we're doing. So welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for joining me. We are further into the Rift tonight. We're actually in the Rift for the first time, which is good. We feel actually after all these weeks, we have actually got into a position where we're actually in the Rift. It's only taken us 4 weeks to get here. So we're in a Formidine Rift thing. So yeah, so first things first, where are we? So we should establish this, we should establish our location, because I've sent that out. Obviously everybody knows where we are from the Lore Tour destination. We are in the AFOTS EUR C4-1 system, which really ought to have a better name, really, but it's an important location for Formidine Rifting. And we'll find out about more about that. So anyway, so welcome for those of you. I'm sure the vast majority of you on the stream now have been with me for quite some weeks because of the Lore Tour, which started back in April. Can you believe that? Back in April. That's a lot. It's a long time ago now. We've been doing this all through the kind of COVID thing, and it almost feels right that as we are bringing this expedition to an end, and hopefully the whole COVID thing is going up as well. So maybe that will be over at the same time. We won't have a second thing there. So anyway, so welcome this evening. Welcome very much. It's lovely to have your company as always on a Thursday where we do some Elite Dangerous, and we are retracing the steps of the intrepid explorers that went this way many years ago, and more than one set of explorers actually. So there's the original set who went out here, who are in the lore, and of course then there are subsequent sets of players, the Elite Dangerous players themselves, who came out this way to unlock the mystery of what happened before. And the space madness will set in. There will be space madness today. One of the things that happens in the Formidine Rift is space madness. Okay, so be prepared for plenty of space madness. So that is definitely a thing. Space madness for sure. So yes. So the hat. Well, the hat is my thing, and the pin. This pin was given to me by dear Paige. What's her surname? I've forgotten. Paige Harvey of Frontier, as was. Of course, she doesn't work for Frontier anymore. She's gone off to be a streamer. So obviously tune into her stream when you can. So yes, I got one of these from Paige. I think at the Elite Meet last year, which of course is very sad this year because we haven't had any Elite Meets at all. They've all been virtual, which is a bit of a shame, but never mind. Anyway, so where are we? I am on the good ship, Remember Salome. So if you want to head for the Remember Salome fleet carrier, that's where I currently am. I can't see anybody else here at the moment, but obviously my scanner's not working because I'm docked. So hopefully if I launch, you'll be around there. That's where I'm currently hanging out. There are lots of other fleet carriers around. So one of the first things I like to do on the stream is just go and do a tour of the fleet carriers, because there are more fleet carriers sometimes than there are actual ships, which is quite funny. They've all come out to the Formidine Rift as well. So this is quite cool, because these ships are not cheap to run. So I do appreciate the owners coming out. Now I will be heading down to the site, so that's where we will all meet up. Yeah, so you're all down on the planet already, so I will go down there. But I can show you the trip down, and I need to talk about these bases as well before we get there. So yeah, we'll get down to the base. Okay, we'll get down to the base. But so if you don't want to come back up, then don't worry about it. But if there's somebody who can wing me in, that will save me a lot of trouble. Who is actually at the base? Then I can home in on your signal. That's going to be good. So I'm going to be ganking the FDevs, am I? Fantastic. You're all on the planet. Brilliant. Okay, well let's do this in the right order. Let's just have a look for the at the system map, because like this gives me a real sense of joy that people have lugged these massive ships out here for my expedition. So I do really appreciate this. There's fleet carriers everywhere. So, and a lot of these I've seen before. So now, yes, I have been warned. A couple of people warned me on Twitter that there were some login errors for the game this evening. So fingers crossed we don't have any issues. I've logged in fine so far. So fingers crossed. So, but no guarantees. No, that was the old Frontier saying, wasn't it? Oh no, no promises, no guarantees. I think that's kind of where we are. Okay, so the Admiral Benbow Inn, Treasure Island reference there. The Araxius Prime, another good name. The Emperor's Revenge, well, why not? And we have the Alethea. I've not seen that one before, so thank you for bringing that one along. Bioman Kill, is this part of the lore stream? Well, kind of not really. It's the lore stream was originally designed to be 12 episodes specifically dedicated to Elite Dangerous lore. And everyone kind of said, as we got to the end of it, we need more stuff. And I said, well, there isn't any more lore. I haven't got anything else to talk about. So the point of this stream is we thought, well, why don't we do an expedition out to a lore, sort of an important lore destination, which is the Formidine Rift, and talk about that piece of lore along the way. So that's what we're doing. This is an extended bit of the lore tour. Less lore, slightly more shenanigans. But we are going somewhere, okay? We're trying to visit a very important lore location, the first ever megaship in Elite Dangerous, which is called the Zuara, and we'll get there in a couple of weeks. So we're on the way. But on the way, we're going to talk about some of the things that happened in this area of space. And the Formidine Rift was one of the early mysteries in the Elite Dangerous lore. So there we go. So anyway, so the Alethea, Dawn Sisters, talked about them last week. Now, the Dawn Sisters is a reference to Anne McCaffrey, and the Dragon series of books. So if you've not read those, they are worth a try. Big inspiration from me. A lot of my writing is very much inspired by Anne McCaffrey, and the Dawn Sisters were, interesting enough, a set of 3 spacecraft that were in orbit around Anne McCaffrey's planet that the inhabitants didn't realise were spacecraft. They thought they were just stars, hence the Dawn Sisters. A bit like we would probably call the Pleiades the Seven Sisters. But they're actually spaceships, which was quite cool. Go and read the books, really, really cool. Tanny Lawn, Michael Moorcock. Wimbledon Common. This one makes me chuckle every time I see it. Which is, of course, the Wombles, which is very, very UK centric. So apologies for anybody who's not from the UK. You probably will not get this reference. But Wimbledon Common, very cool. The Wombles, you need to check them out. Eye of the Moon, Mike Singleton, Lords of Midnight, Doomdark's Revenge, very good as well. Zero Gravitas, another good name. CRV Nightwish. The Valiant, now there's a good name, The Valiant. I'm on the Remember Salome right now. The Absolution, that's definitely been with us all the way from the beginning, the Absolution. And the Guru Meditation, I think that was there early on as well. So that's really, really good. And this one's new, Samba do Sargentelli. I haven't seen that one before, and I don't know that reference. So if the owner of that, the Absolution is a Toonami reference. Excellent. Okay. If anybody knows the reference that Sambadu Sargentelli is, then do let me know, because that's a new one to me. So I'd be interested to know. Haven't heard that phrase before. So lots and lots of ships, which is awesome. So right, there are some ships I can see around me. So let's get up into space. Let's get up into space. I've forgotten how to play the game. Right, launch. There we go. Right. Fantastic. It's always nice to see ships in my instance. The instancing is working. I've lost my wing. I had somebody in my wing. Commander Sea Dweller was in my wing, but now for some reason he's not. Oh, there he is. He's back again. Right, try that. There we go. Okay, right. So I can't hear the game sound. There we go. Just a little bit. I've got to be a bit careful because I mucked it up last week because of having the problem with streaming and playing a game is because you've got like multiple audio sources. It gets very confusing. So I will get better, but it's still trying. Right, so we are here in orbit around planet C3. Now, hopefully you noticed on the way in to this system that there was, I'll just show you on the scanner here, or is it, does it show up? Yeah, these, okay, right, they're a long way away from here, so don't go back and go and visit one of these now, you can do it later on. The unregistered comms beacon, these were the clues for the explorers who came out this way, that there was something weird going on in these systems, okay? If you go to these comm beacons in this system, there are a few others scattered around as well, every hour on the hour, so you have to be hanging around quite a while, every hour on the hour, these things will transmit a code. Okay, these things will transmit a code, and you have to decipher that code, and it basically tells you that there is something odd going on in this system, and then you clearly have to have a look around. Now there were There were supposed to be more clues in orbit around the planets, but this bit of me putting the adventure into Elite Dangerous with the help of FDev's developers didn't quite work. There were some bugs, and actually it crashed the game the first time we tried it, and then we found we couldn't fix it properly. So the devs had some issues with this part of the game. So there were supposed to be clues leading you to certain locations on the planet's surface, but they didn't work. I actually got a panicked phone call from one of the FDevs while I was at work saying, we've just discovered why the problem is and we can't fix it without a client update, which is a big deal in Elite Dangerous deployment terms. They can do server-side changes really easily, but this particular one needed a client-side update. Anyway, for all sorts of reasons, it got quite protracted and quite difficult. So it never got properly fixed. So the only way to find the surface location was to eyeball it in the first few weeks of this part of the game, which was a bit frustrating for me because it wasn't the way it was supposed to work. And it was very frustrating for the players because they had no clues as to how to find stuff. They just knew that somewhere in the system there was something. And then to add insult to injury, when you got close to it, it crashed the game. So hopefully we won't have any problems with that tonight. So sometimes the course of lore and the course of storytelling in games like this does not run true, and this was definitely one of those moments. So there we go. So anyway, there's lots of ships about. Now what was supposed to happen, you were supposed to get a clue from the beacon saying there's something going on in the system. Someone's shining their lights at me. I'll shine my lights back. There we go. So we had to, in order to find the surface bases, people had to fly down and go look for them, which was very tedious. And so, but to be fair to the players, they improvised very, very well. So they took turns, they took teams, they divided up latitudes and longitudes between them, and they flew back and forth across the planet looking for stuff. So there was a lot of dedication in order to find these things. And maybe it was the club meddling with things. Maybe it was. So. Those were all sorts of stuff that was fun and games back in the day before we had proper exploration tools. So yeah, there were all sorts of issues with the way it was supposed to work. What actually happened in many cases was that the bases were discovered sometimes before the beacons were deciphered, so that you actually players actually got the clues in reverse order, which didn't help either. And it's kind of partly it was a bit of a mess at times. Partly it worked, and partly it was all the space madness around the whole Rift thing. So it kind of sort of fed on itself. So yeah, I can understand people going space mad, flying backwards and forwards across latitude lines on the surface, looking for things. So yeah, it wasn't how I originally intended it all to work, but we got there in the end, which was the main thing. So why are we out here? What's special about going on here? Okay, so in the lore, there is this strange and weird and wonderful organisation, which of course doesn't really exist. It's another shadowy cabal, as we've seen, and there's loads of shadowy cabals. Beiging the surface, I think was the term. That's right, and Blade Dog there. I still get nightmares from flying upside down over different planets. Okay. That's what I said. These poor commanders were doing all this sort of stuff, looking for something on these barren surfaces. And the planets were much more boring back then because they were all beige. The beige plague, I think we called it. So there were lots of things that weren't ideal about the whole situation. And Elite Dangerous Horizons was quite new at this point in time, so there were bugs as well, and lots of things did not go smoothly, to be fair. And it caused me a lot of problems in, let's say, the stepping out of the lore for a moment, in the meta lore, because I was writing this book, Premonition, at the same time, which was supposed to be cataloguing player events. Certain things had to happen in certain time frames in order for the narrative to sort of move on. And because of the delays, in the game, and various other bits and pieces, lots of stuff got shifted up. So the ending started getting a bit rushed. And anyway, bugs, they happen, don't they? They happen in online games. So we were fighting all sorts of things, and to be fair, the devs were trying really, really hard. And for them to ring me up and apologise, saying, I think we've screwed up your storyline, we've got a bug and we can't fix it for 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, or whatever it was, and it was like, so what am I going to do? So what I had to actually do was write some extra Galnet articles that I hadn't expected to write, in order to kind of say, oh, just hang on a minute. And so what we were doing is tap dancing behind the scenes, trying to get everything to work. So the perils of writing for an online computer game. But anyway, there we go. So, and of course, narrative is supposed to try and happen in real time. So you can see why they don't do quite so much of this stuff anymore. It's actually really, really difficult. Even if it works, And when there's bugs and stuff that goes wrong, but hey, never mind. Anyway, so there we go. So there are lots of us flying around the Remember Salome here, and thanks to everybody for bringing the fleet carriers along. Now, the club. Okay, now the club. Have I got my wing beacon on? I don't think I have. Probably not. Let me just switch that on. There it is. Right, you should be able to see me now. There it is. Anybody else who wants to join my wing? Tell you what I normally do is I usually randomly choose some people. So people I haven't chosen before. These are all local. So let's who have we got in my wing that we haven't. Have Commander Lancel. I don't think I've had you in my wing before. You can have an invite and randomly. Let's choose somebody with a cool pair of specs. Or, oh look, moustache. Let's have a moustache in the wing. There we go. I've sent some invites. If you want to join my wing, you can. So that's all cool. And so those are so the club. Okay, now they're a sort of weird and wonderful organisation. They have 5 primary members. Okay, now if you want to know a little bit about who they are, you can read my book, but the easiest way to find out about them basically is to look at the wiki page. It's much faster, much more succinct, more than if you obviously if you're interested, read the book. After all these years, there's no particular secrets left in it that people haven't divulged, but you may find it fun. But the wiki page will tell you there are 5 key members, and their identities are hidden. They refer to themselves by what they do. So you have society, exo, infrastructure, and so on and so forth. Their names describe their roles. Their identities are never specifically revealed in the book, and that's deliberate. I was told not to, because the club itself is a piece of lore that David Braben gave me to populate the book and expand the story. So their identities are supposed to be secret. Now you can work out most of the identities from clues that have been historically in Galnet and in the game and from the book. Okay, so if you put all those things together, it's possible to work out the identities, but I am not allowed to tell you. Okay, but it is possible. All right, so go figure it out. Some people have got very, very close in some of the emails I've been sent, but I've been able to neither confirm nor deny how close they've been. So you can work it out. Well, that's all I can say. And they are specific people in the Elite Dangerous lore. So David Braben is the leader of the club. Maybe he is actually. Now, actually, there's a thing that some of you may not know. If you look at the original Elite Dangerous books, okay. Now here's something that some of you spotted, some of you may not have seen. I'm not talking about Premonition, I'm talking about the earlier ones. So Elite Reclamation is the one that I wrote. There's Late Revolution by Alan Stroud. There's Mostly Harmless by Kate Russell. There is Tales from the Frontier, of course, which is the anthology one. There is And Hear the Wheel by John Harper. And there's one more, Out of the Darkness by T. James. Okay, maybe I'm the leader of the club. Maybe I am. In all of those original books, there is a common character. Okay, there's a common character. Now he is a member of FDev. I'm going to leave that one with you as well. We were contacted when we wrote those books by a mysterious benefactor. And in those books, and Legacy, I'm not sure about Legacy actually, Tuplex, because that was written by Michael Brooks, I'm not sure that one was clear, but in all the others, there is a character who appears in all of the books, and he is somebody from FDev. We were asked to put him in, so go and see if you can figure that one out. That's just an off-topic, completely off-topic. So the club have been around for a long, long time. Okay, not just decades. The club have been around for millennia, probably. Way since the beginning, they've been out there doing things, and their kind of rationale is to ensure that humanity survives. Okay. And they operate above the Alliance, above the Empire, above the Federation, above the corporations. They have links everywhere. They've existed for a long, long time. And their rationale is to preserve humanity in their way, okay, in their image, really. So they're very much the good of the many outweighs the good of the few. And that's the way they tend to operate, okay? Now, they've done lots of things, but amongst other things, they feared the Thargoids. They feared that the Thargoids were not only had we tried to, as we learned in the lore tour, using INRA, they had, INRA had tried genocide on the Thargoids to destroy them, and partially succeeded, and driven the Thargoids back, or at least forced them to retreat in some form or another. But the club were concerned that long term the Thargoids would be too much of a threat for humanity and would overwhelm us. We would be forced to evacuate the bubble. So there were lots of ways to deal with this. One was to increase humanity's skill and output of military vessels. So they basically fan the flames of war between the Empire and the Federation in order to get them to build more military capacity, just in general terms. That's one of the things they did. They also sponsored CQC. So CQC exists because what, in the law, the club basically said, we want the best pilots. We want to identify the best pilots, and we want them to be trained and ready to fight because Thargoids are coming. So that was another aspect to their plan. And these were all offensive strategies against the Thargoids. Obviously they had INRA. They also reputedly created the Aegis, or Aegis organization, which provides all the AX weaponry. Okay. The club were behind that initiative as well. They will probably be overseeing INRA and all the other shenanigans that we've encountered in the lore with the Thargoids as well along the way. So the club doesn't exist in they're in that system. They're just a sort of overarching thing that tries to steer the destiny of humanity in a certain direction, and it's very much survival at all odds. Now, I just noticed my ship is drifting again. There we go. So that's the club. Okay, that's the club. And they are extremely powerful. They will stop at nothing to achieve their aims. Individuals do not count as far as the club is concerned. It's only the overriding thing. In fact, even organisations and star systems do not count. They will be sacrificed if necessary for the club to do what it is. So that's the purpose behind all these sort of things. Now the idea there was to bring all these different aspects of Elite Dangerous gameplay into the lore. So that was the reason the club exists. Now there is a kind of slightly confusing thing. Is what about the Dark Wheel? How does that relate to the club? Well, these two organisations are very much not the same thing. Okay, so the club and the Dark Wheel are actually at odds with each other quite a lot of the time. They are not trying to achieve the same thing. The Dark Wheel is much more concerned with Raxxla than it is concerned with humanity, and the club is much more interested in making sure that humanity itself survives, but at any cost, not just at a reasonable cost, at any cost. That's their kind of overall modus operandi for the way they work. And they had all these offensive strategies, but they also had some defensive ones. They basically they looked at it, they did a complete risk analysis of the Thargoids. They did risk and impact assessment. Very good, very good governance from the club. So there's an offensive strategy, which basically let's take the fight to the Thargoids. Let's have lots of ships. Let's have the best pilots. They also said, okay, well, let's assume we lose. Let's assume we can't win. What do we do then? Well, we need a fallback strategy. We need fallback situations. And they basically went looking years and years and years and years ago in deep space, looking for places that we could go. Okay, places we could retreat to out in the black. And the Formidine Rift and two other sectors of the galaxy were places we could go. And they basically sent some ships out here with a special mission to identify and catalogue some planets for various reasons. And that's what we're going to find out about today, because we have found, should I say, not we, because I wasn't involved. I put them in the game. The devs put them in the game. I wrote the stuff that goes with them. The devs do their dev thing. But down on this planet, in this system, is a base. And the base tells us a little bit about some of the stuff that was going on. So let's head down to the planet. That's the thing that we've got to do next. So I'm going to see if I can find a location. Now, is anybody down on the planet where I can get to? Because we're going to need to jump into Super Cruise for a start. But I can see two of my wing people are here with me. So I'm just going to carefully cruise forward. We'll leave the slow me behind us. Everybody else is Oh, you've got the site on your nav screen. Okay, well let me just jump into Super Cruise. Right, well everybody who can get into an instance, jump down to the base on the planet. So that's where we're going next. It's not a particularly interesting planet, as you can see. There is a marker in my comms. You see, this is so much easier than it was back in the day. Now you've got to imagine the original rifters who were out here. Now I kind of call you guys who are on my stream the rifters as well, but we're the sort of we're the easy rifters. Because the original rifters, the guys who came out here to discover this in the first time, there was no comms, log on the planet's surface or anything like that. They had to do it the hard way. So we're benefiting from their great exploration and just revisiting what they achieved back in then. So back in the day, there would have been no marker. You had to find these things manually, which was very, very difficult. But they did, and there were 4 bases out here. Alpha, Beta, Gamma and Delta. Now we're going to visit the Alpha base tonight. If I can get my frameshift drive to charge by the time I get there, I'll be on the planet. Yep. So I tell you, I'm going space mad. I've been to a lot of these abandoned bases. So there's a lot of death in the lore of Elite Dangerous. Yep. So yeah. So the technology advance is a thing in Elite Dangerous. Back in I talked about this on the stream last week. Back in the come on, frameshift drive. It's almost there. There it goes. Finally. Right, now I can't see anything because everybody else is in frameshift drive. Let me just see if I can find the comms on the contacts. So I've got a wing signal. I haven't actually got a contact. Is it navigation? Sorry. Okay, I'll get down to orbit first. I can't see the planet at all. Oh, there it is. It's so bright. All these frameshift drives. I'm sort of heading in the general direction of everybody else at the moment. Alright, so that's... Oh, yeah, that is so bright. I don't have a contact, though. Well, I'll follow the Sea Dweller's wing signal. Oh, he's behind me. That's no use. Why aren't I picking up? It's in your nav tab. Oh, not. It's not in the contacts. Right. Sorry. I'm not seeing it. I haven't got any filters on, have I? Oh, let's just do. Just check where I am. I'm not getting a... Is that because did I probe the planet? I've got to scan the planet. Well, somebody's at the base. Hang on, who's at the base? Terakov. Can I see Terakov? Let's do it that way. No. Not on my list. Hang on, then I'll scan the planet. Hang on. Although I'm probably too close now, aren't I? Sometimes this game winds me up. I think I'm going to be too close. I can't even see the planet. Hang on a minute, there we go. No, wrong one. Surface scanner, there we go. Am I too close? Boom. Oh, no, I'm too close. Is that enough? Come on. Lancer's got the wing beacon. Oh, I'll follow that in. Thank you very much, Lance. Appreciate that. Let's do that. Right. There we go. Wing signal on. So I'm going to lock onto that. Where was that? Over there. I'm probably on the wrong side of the planet by now. Right, there we go. No, that's Remember Salome. Why am I still locked on that? Over there. I do know what I'm doing, kind of. Right, there we go. Okay, is that on the ground or? Yeah, okay. Right, so 500 kilometers away. So let's go up a little bit. Good stuff. Hopefully that's now I'm heading in the right direction. Yeah, okay, I'm just going to orbit the planet a little bit. Sorry about that. I keep forgetting to scan stuff, which is very bad for an explorer. Let's go up a little bit more. It's very slow otherwise. Right, getting there. Dun 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 dun. There we go, right. Okay. Makes it very hard to see with all the frameshift drives. So yeah, so well done to the original guys who found this down here. It was a bit of an ask, and it wasn't supposed to be that way, but by the time we were able to fix it, everyone had found everything. So you know, kudos to everybody who managed that, because it wasn't the way it was supposed to work, but you did a fantastic job in locating this. Why have I come out of like 140 kilometers away? Oh well. Am I in glide? I am. That's all right then. Thought I was in real space. Looks like the base is in darkness, so which is a bit of a shame, but we can't do anything about time. Oh, Cosby! Oh yes, Cosby, of course, Cosby 714. I do remember. Yes, you were there. So well done. We're that must have been cool times actually, finding these things for the first time. So very good. Yeah, no, I do remember the username now. Yeah. In fact, I hope I can't remember now. I haven't read the book for ages. Did I give you a mention in the book? I can't remember. You said you deserve one, I think, even if I didn't give you one. I can't remember now because there were so many usernames involved. It's not really dark anymore. Okay, right. So I can see what looks like a ship there, which is good. Right. So gravity is not too much of a problem. There's the night vision. So you can see how eyeballing this, wasn't easy. There was no night vision, of course. Oh, you were there within minutes of it being found. I do remember. I remember some interplay about that. Yeah, so that's very cool. So I can see some folks down on the surface there. So these bases were left. These bases in the lore. These bases were left by an expedition that came out here. And they came out here quite a long time ago. We'll find out from the logs the year that they came out here, and then we'll be able to place it in the lore as a result. So with the night vision off, it's quite hard to see. There we are. So I'm going to park somewhere nearby. I can see a bunch of ships. So it's like a real tourist destination now. Yeah, that's true. Dark is now properly dark, but it wasn't dark back then. We had like a sort of not night vision, but we did have a whole bunch of basically the ground got lighter as we approached on the dark side of planets to aid assistance of seeing it. So now you can see it's like a proper tourist destination. There should be a gift shop, of course, but it's not open yet. So we'll work on the gift shop. So I'm going to see if I can park on the far side, actually, over there next to that. Is that a beluga? Oh, where the anaconda's going. Let's see if I can park between the anaconda and the beluga. The anaconda's about to sit on that poor little. Is that a crate down there? So yeah, so there we go. So this is the base. Let's see if I can get over here. Is there enough space for me to land here? Hopefully there is. Somebody else has just landed. Right, so there's the base. unsuitable terrain. Come on, let's just go back a little bit then. That's looking good there. Yep. Ooh. Okay, alignment good. Come. Just make sure I'm not going to bash anybody else's ship. I think I'm good. Yep. Yay, we're down. Excellent. Gift shop's closed. Georgia Outback of Thargoid 13. Yeah. So yeah, there should be a gift shop. there's probably a Starbucks and a Costa Coffee out here by now. Maybe a McDonald's. But 3 years ago there wasn't. Okay, this was the edge of the frontier. In fact, this was way beyond the frontier back then. This was uncharted space. So and now it's full of SRVs. So you know, make sure where you drive. Okay, don't damage any of the exhibits. Right, so let me pop into a scrap. So if you've got an SRV, meet me down on the surface, and we'll take a look around. There we go. Right, I've forgotten how to drive this as well. Lights. There we go. Okay, full beam. Actually, yeah, full beam. Why not? Okay. That's a very. There we go. City of La Roche. Nice ship there. Right, so we kind of, who's this? Commander Nero. Hello, Commander Nero. There we go. Right. So you're supposed to approach this via the main entrance. Substantially less busy whenever. Yeah, no flash photography, and if you could stick to the social distancing as well. This is what you saw, of course. So what you saw there. Look, there we go. Formidine, and. Here's another little thing that the devs got wrong initially. They spelled Formidine wrong. So we had to go and change that too. It's Formid. I've seen it spelt a lot of times wrong on the forum, which is sometimes where people ask questions about the Formidine Rift. They don't get the answers from me because my search doesn't show it up. It's quite often spelt with an A before the D, and that's wrong. Okay, it's supposed to be Formidine. It is actually the Latin word for fear. So basically, Formidine Rift translates into scary place. So this is the Formidine Rift Alpha site. So this was arguably the first one, but this is what was discovered. So you know, there are data points, things to scan, and I think there's probably nowadays some materials here as well. There's loads of SRVs. There's Commander Sea Dweller, excellent, part of my wing. Commander Lycon, lots of people here. Now we've got to. Is it? I'm just trying to remember. Is it the data points we need to scan? And this may require me to. I think. Because the Formidine Rift, yeah. So yeah, so there was all sorts of things wrong, and spelling the things was wonderful. There we go. Right, data point. Now, I think I've got to scan it. Here's my scanner. There we go. It says data link scan complete. It shouldn't be complete. Oh, is it log locations? I can't remember. It's a long time since I've done it. Is it log locations? That's what I need to go. Okay, let's go and find the logs, because there are 4 logs here, or 6 logs, that we need to locate. And that will tell us the story of the rift, or at least a bit of the story, and I can fill in the rest of it. So does anybody know where they are? There are 6. There are definitely 6. Okay, so where are they? These bases are quite. There's something. There are log locations at the base. On the one on the left, they should show up as white column. Yeah, so I can see that, but it's not. There, settlement comms uplink. There we go. 53 meters, which sort of implies it's on the other side of this. Okay, so let's go around there. Let's get Okay. Well, that was weird. I think Frontier have a bug on my computer. They can kill my transmissions whenever they feel like it. Yeah. Maybe that was just revenge. Okay, the Formidine Rift crash. So, yeah. Okay. Well, I'm back. My PC just died. Something just switched itself off. Wasn't even the power cut. Everything else was fine. My PC just decided to shut down unexpectedly. So I'm gonna have to look at the crash log, find out what went wrong there, because that was a bit strange. I didn't even think it overheated. It just decided, boom, that was it, power down, and it didn't shut down gracefully. It literally just went off. So I'm gonna have to do some investigating. There we go. So yeah, I reckon it was hex edit. Okay, we'll talk about that as well. Right, so I'm gonna try and get back into the game now. So did I accidentally pull out the search? No, I didn't. Why can't I click on anything? There we go. Has to be. There we go. Right, so we're good. Right. How weird was that? So yeah, but it's a relatively new piece. I will check out the power supply. Maybe I've got a fault. Maybe it could be a memory thing. I've only got Streamlabs Elite running, so maybe it was just the power supply tripped. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. I'm not quite sure why. Could have a heat problem as well. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. But now my SRV seems to have fallen off the edge of the world. Which is interesting. Where am I? Looks like I've kind of, according to that, I don't even know where my ship is. I presume it's de-instanced itself, so I've been left at the bottom of a chasm, which is rather nice. Can I get back out of here? I can see a vague sign that there's somebody at the top there. So excuse me while I try and get my NPC out of a hole. Nice view of the Heart and Soul Nebula there, guiding me back home. I'm just going to try and get to the top of this mountain. Whoa, this is a bit. This is very steep, isn't it? Hang on, I've got to clearly climb a. Send me a wing invite. Fantastic. Let me just see if I can negotiate this climb, because it's like crazy steep. I don't know why I'm down the hole. Seems a bit mean of the game to have put me in there. It's really quite rough terrain as well. So, alright, let me just, while I'm here, let's concentrate on one thing at a time. See if I can get up this mountain. I can see a flat section there. Come on SRV, you can do it. It's really steep. I mean, it's impossible. There's no way a vehicle could really get up here, but these are up. Whoops. Come on. Oh. I don't want to fall over backwards. I'm not sure I can get up here. My wheels are spinning. Right. Let me put a wing request in. I'm stuck at the moment. Right, Commander Jack is in my wing. I can see you guys over there. Okay, so let's see if I can climb a little bit side. Whoops! Don't like the look of that. Ugh. I am definitely in a difficult place in terms of where the game has put me back in. I may need to. I can see a ship. Can I get up this hill? Come on, SRV, we can do this. I'm trying to get some right. We're trying to look at that. Doesn't look good either. Ow. Okay, hang on. It's very difficult to tell your orientation. I think I'm sideways on a log or something. Where am I? This is definitely wrong. All right, hang on a minute. Okay, is that down? No, that's up. Right, okay. I kind of got to get to the top of this hill. I can see contacts up there, but it's, can I get enough purchase? This is like 50, 45. It's getting there. It's getting there. Right, let's just be careful over this little lip here. Where am I? Back up, back up. There we go. Right. Whoa. Okay, right. So let's just look at this terrain. I have no idea where I am. If there's a I don't think anybody's going to be able to land around here. How far away from you guys am I? Why has it put me in such an awkward location? Okay, so this is Rescue Drew now. This has become right. Okay, 1.5 kilometers. I'm not too far away, but the terrain is just insane. I'm at 89%. Come on. I have got a spare SRV, so worst comes to worst, I can do that, yes. I'd like to keep my SRV if I can. Come on. It's as rough as a rough thing, this terrain though. Come on. So this is totally not what I had planned. Oh, this is really... Right, okay, we're slowly making progress. Yes, I suppose I can go back. Right, I'm 1.2 kilometers away from my unmanned ship, which is over at the top of that hill there. That's my ship. So I don't know if that's... Can anybody see my ship? Is it anywhere near? Is it anywhere near anybody else? Oh, this is some of the roughest terrain I've ever driven across, I think. It's just mad. You know, you get into that mode though where you think, I just want to... I just want to win. Hang on, looking a bit smoother now. This is looking a little bit better. Okay, down to 1 kilometer. Come on ship. Okay, right, so I've got 82% hull, I'm good. I'm closing in on my ship. I don't know if I'm anywhere near the base though. I seem to have driven ages. Well, let's just go a little bit carefully here. At least if I can get back to my ship, I can fly it back to the base. Driving lessons, yeah. So this is not how this was supposed to be. Okay, right. This has definitely gone a bit smoother here. This terrain, so this is good. Now, is it going to be too steep to get up? Okay, I can go a bit faster now. This is good. Come on, I can see another ship up there. Not just mine. 65% climb. Come on. You can do it. Yes, we're at the top. Oof. Okay, well that was hard work. Here's my ship. Is anybody else here? Is the base here? Oh, the base is here. So we're here. Okay, so there's only a handful of people in my instance this time. Oh, well, that was hard work. I did it. Yes. Gave the club. Right, so that's awesome. Right, let's resume the tour, shall we? So apologies if you were in my instance, because obviously you aren't anymore, but there are a few people here as well. So everything's gone suspiciously dark. Let's put that on full beam. There we go. Right, so we're back. Formidine Rift Alpha site. Now what I was going to do is go and scan the 6 logs. That's what we need to do next. Right, so let's go and get the data link scanner. Pretty sure the first one is over there. So there it is there, right. Okay, so we should be able to there it is, right. Get the data link scanner. Maybe raid so stealthy. Sorry about that. Did somebody raid me? I was trying to survive. Get my right. So we should have a data link. Sorry, thank you very much for the raid. Appreciate that. Right, Formidine Rift Alpha mission 6 of 6. Okay, so we're doing this in the wrong order. But anyway, let's get round and scan things. What's that? That's a material. Don't want that. At least not at the moment. So knock yourselves out if you want to gather some materials. This actually appears to be not a bad place to get some from. But I'm not actually after those. I'm after these settlement logs, which look like little. I don't know what they look like really. Like little turbines, really. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can't remember. I've got my turret controls mapped. I've forgotten them, but anyway, it's okay. I can find them now. Right, so that's another one. Must be one out here somewhere. There we go. Let's get that one. And then we'll go through the logs. Okay, so hopefully everybody's back again. Is it you? I've got the turret. I have got the turret. Okay. Yeah, okay, I can drop into the turret. Cool, if I need to. Right, so how many have we got now? We've got 3, 5 and 6. So I missed 4, which presumably is behind me somewhere. Is that it over there? That's the way I came, so... That should be... There it is. Right, looks like it's on the far side of this bunch of stuff. So let's get around there. There it is there. Is that one I've already done? Yeah, I was going to say I've already done that one. It's quite hard to keep these places in your brain, really. It's just materials. There it is. Around the back. That should be 4, I think. So yeah, so maybe that's 2, 3, 2, 3, 5, and 6. So where's the other one? Well, let's keep going round. Can anybody find? Oh, now my ship's jammed. Oh. Oh, jammed on something. I'm not having any luck today. Come on, let my SRV go. There we go. Oh, right. Where is the other bits? Now, I'm missing one. There's lots of stuff around here, but that's mostly... Is that a material around the back, or is that another? I think I've got this one. Oh no, that one was a new one. Okay, so how many have I got now? 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6. Right, I need number 4. Does anybody tell me where number 4 is? I'm assuming it must be down this side of the base. That's materials. There's a sub. I'm sure I haven't been over here before. Oops, wrong button. Must be it. Yeah, right. So I think that's the whole lot. Right. Let's go back and park somewhere where I can talk about it. Right, so that's back at the entrance. There we go. We'll park here. It's a perfectly sensible place to park. Right, so let's do these in order. So what happened here? So Formidine Rift Alpha Mission 1 of 6. Okay, there we go. The Planet Rave, yes. Park on your ship. I could park on my ship, couldn't I? That's probably not a bad idea, actually. Good point. Which one is my ship? It's over there, isn't it? Then I can repair my SRV after its little exciting problem. Looks like my ship's parked right on the edge there as well. Oops. Right. Let's get this. Whoa, come on, slow down. More haste, less speed, I think, is the answer there. low gravity warning. Right, there we go. Okay, so we're on board the ship. We're safe. Back safe. All right. Okay. Here we go. Oh, it does its thing right back in the ship. So, Alpha Mission 1. So, what you find from the log is, why the hell are we out here? No one seems to know. It's taken months and we're still not there. Whatever there is, we're dropping these beacons. Supposedly nobody knows what they're for. And if they do, they ain't telling. Makes no sense. There's nothing out here. And who would come all this way anyway? Okay. So these texts are mine. I wrote these. In fact, I can show you the originals. Would you like to see the originals? Just because, well, they're in the game now, so they're not NDA anymore. So I can show you. Look at this. This is how they originally existed. This is the excitement of putting a mission into Elite Dangerous. Is somewhere in here. If I look them up, books, Elite Dangerous, Elite Premonition. Elite Premonition Abandoned Settlements. There we go. So there we are. Okay. So this is what I wrote. So Formidine Rift Alpha Mission 1. There we go. Expedition log 21083270. Okay. Why the hell are we out here? No one seems to know. It's taken months and we're still there. So there we go. We can read all the other ones as well. So I can show you all the text from all the other bases if you so desire. You may want to tune out if you don't want spoilers, if you want to go to the other bases. But that's where they come from. So and that's what it looks like. So clues that it was me. Okay, clues that it was me. You'll notice the expedition log date is the 21st of the 8th. 3270. Now, clearly I won't be alive in the year 3270, but the 21st of August is my birthday. So, small clue. And you may shower me with gifts, of course, if you so wish. But I put that in as a little clue for those people who know me as to, yeah, this was a true clue. I could put the Excel file. Yes, I could do that. That might be more fun. So that's the expedition log. So people have come out here, but the crew of this base, at least, don't know why they're here. So what happens next? We're still travelling. Jump drive malfunction today. That made an interesting diversion. It's going to take a while to fix. This area of space is freaking me out. I could have sworn I heard some weird echoes in the last jump. We are a long way from home. We're struggling to plot a course now. We're leaving the galactic arm and the jumps are getting longer. Okay. So bear in mind this is the year 3270. Okay. So this is now 36 years ago. In the lore, okay, and this is pre-frame shift drive, so pre the modern hyperdrive systems that we have on our ships today. Back then, as you saw in my old playthrough of the old games, hyperspace jumps took weeks of in-game time to achieve. So every jump that these guys were doing out here was taking weeks per jump. Not seconds like we have, but weeks. Okay, so in the lore, exploring this far out was a big deal because every single hyperspace jump took you weeks to actually execute, and that's how long you were in hyperspace for. It took a long time to get through hyperspace and back out. So you can see, if you imagine staring at that hyperspace tunnel for like weeks, you can imagine you would go mad, right? So there we go. So that's what there's going on. Now this is now the 28th. Okay, so this is 7 days later. So this is the next jump. Now why are the logs on this base? Well, you know, we don't know. Right, finally fixed the drive. So this is the 7th of September that year. More monotony. Can't believe it's nearly 6 months since we set out from Ridquat. Did I say Ridquat? I meant Riort. Clue that you're in the right place for that Riort Ridquat line. Okay, that was back at the beginning of this quest. The guys are showing the strain. 3 more months before we can turn and head back. Okay, so that shows you how much further they had to go. The stars are thinning out and you can see the whole galaxy just hanging there. Okay, another clue that you're on the right track, because that's a clue that was given to you at the beginning of this expedition again, that you were roughly in the right place. The stars are thinning out and you can see the entire galaxy just hanging there. And if you look at the Milky Way in the background, you'll notice that. Right, and then number 4, the darkness grows. Okay, this is where it starts getting a bit weird. The darkness grows. The galaxy is faint and dim behind us. I'm told this place has been nicknamed the Formidine Rift. Apparently that means fear in some old Earth language. It's an apt name. some of the guys are going space crazy out here in the void. We had to sedate one guy. He went completely doolally. We've not seen another soul for weeks, just us and this ship, alone in the darkness. So, yeah, things are getting a bit weird. And then we get this one, which is, I'm scared. Help me, someone. I can't bear another jump. The lights in which space are coming for me. The lights, always the lights. They're calling to me, a siren song. I must join them. And then the final one is an automated alert, which basically says, automated telemetry report. Canopy blast bolts activated. Life support malfunction. Crew vital signs terminated. Ship systems engaging standby mode. Distress speaking activated. Space craziness. Okay, so this is where the space madness came from. It actually affected all the NPCs. Everybody went completely doolally who went out this far, because they were so far away from home that they went mad. So that's the first mission. Now, I might upload the Excel to up on my Discord if you want to read it. So it's just an easier way of doing it. There are other bases out there in the Formidine Rift. There are bases out there in Hawkins Gap and in the Conflux area. If you want to read the entire story, it'll take a little bit of time to go and find all the logs, but you can go and read the entire story from those different locations. Okay. And basically the theme is, and then the theme is that these ships were sent out here for a mission. They were there to drop beacons out here in the darkness, and everybody on board the ships was being paid a lot of money to do this. Basically, they were being paid so much money. The reason so many people signed up for this particular gig out in the darkness, despite the distance and despite the risk, was it was enough money for them to basically hang up their hats and live the rest of their life in luxury if they made it back. That's how much was being paid for this mission. So that's why they signed up. So they're being sent out with massive paycheck. Okay, you come back from this mission, you have enough money to retire, and that's it. Game over. You can do what you like. So that was the rationale, if you like, behind why these people were out here. Enough money to just, that's it. I don't need to work anymore. That was the attraction of it. And all those missions were sent out into the darkness, not just here in the Formidine Rift. There were 4 bases. I think I'm right in it. Let me just tell you exactly how many there are, because I can't remember. I think they've all been discovered now. Pretty sure they have. So there were 4 bases out here in the Formidine Rift with 6 logs each. So 24 logs there. There were... let's just filter. Hawkins Gap, there were basically, so there are 4 missions, there are 4 bases in the Hawkins Gap area, and they had 4 logs each. And there were also some in the Conflux area, and there were 4 bases there, and 4 logs each at each of those bases. Now you have to get all of those to get the entire story of what happened, it kind of gives you the whole thing. So if you do want a shortcut, I can post the Excel to the Discord, but because it's a lot of travel otherwise. But you can do the Formidine Rift bases here in the Formidine Rift without too much trouble, and they're all happening about the right rate, about the same time. Okay, they're about the same time, and they kind of explain what was going on. So those are the sort of things all put into the game for you to find, and so Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta in all 3 sectors of the galaxy. And just to refresh you on that, those areas of the galaxy, and they were originally named after, and I think I talked about this last week, about the galaxy map as was. So we're here now. Back in the day, the galaxy map was slightly different. This is the Formidine Rift area. This is obviously the core worlds. The Conflux was over here in the general direction of Colonia, and Hawkins Gap was kind of over here. Now it's still kind of like that, but the locations aren't exact. So if we look on the Codex map, you'll notice that the Conflux is over here on the official map, that's too far. And Hawkins Gap is sort of over here. I think that's correct. And we're in the arena of Iron Spur, is where the core worlds are, the bubble. But I think actually the conflict bases are actually in the Scutum Centaurus arm sector, I believe. I might need to go and check that sort of stuff. I don't think it's as far away as the actual complex is on the map nowadays, because that's not where it was with the fan-made map that I was using a reference at the time, if that makes sense. Now, do you think that what was calling which base of the Formula expedition has anything to do with Jasmine's vision? Starship 1 was missing. Okay, so yes, so that particular story, the Jasmina Halsey story, has not been resolved. Okay, which I think is a bit of a shame, because it was a very cool story. Now I know what, and I, yeah, this is going to really annoy you again, because I'm not allowed to tell you. I'm only my NDA clearly states that I'm only allowed to tell you stuff that's been revealed in the game. If it's not been revealed in the game, I can't tell you. It might never happen in the game, in which case I'm going to have to take the secret to my grave, which is a bit annoying. But the Jasmina Halsey Lights in Witch Space, there's something weird going on out there, is a story in Elite Dangerous which we were definitely riffing off. If I press the power button now on my laptop, just as I'm saying, yeah, that would be quite funny. Let's see if I can get back into the wing with these guys. There's Siege Dweller. Let's invite to the wing. Who did I have? I had I can't see the same people, which is a shame, but anyway. So yeah, so if I tell you my stream dies, that'll be why. Okay. So the Jasmina Halsey story is unresolved. Okay. Lights in Witch Space, Thargoids, Guardians, and everything else involved with what happened to her is a lore thread which we can only follow up to the point where she appears to go a bit doolally, and then has this vision of space and above and beyond everything. Okay. So Lancel, that was right. Yeah, I'm just trying to remember the name. Can I see Lancel? There we go. Let's see if we can get Commander Lancel back in. There we go. I'll try that for the time being. So yeah, but there is stuff in the lore that I was given about what happened to Halsey, and it's related to all sorts of things in Elite Dangerous. Okay, that's how the lore was set up. So she was connected to all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff in Elite Dangerous. So all I can give you, commanders, there is that yes, that thread was connected to all sorts of other threads, including why people went a little bit mad out here, and other things in Elite Dangerous. And I literally can't say anymore, because until it's revealed in the game, I'm not allowed to, which is a bit annoying. The sad thing is, I don't know whether it ever will be revealed in the game, due to the way that Galnet's been stopped, and there isn't going to be so much story content. We'll have to wait and see for Odyssey as to whether the story content, the lore content, comes back, or whether it's just going to be gameplay based on walking around. I have no idea what's going to happen there. But unless it's in the game, I can't show it to you. That's why I'm okay showing you those missions, because as you saw, we can go get them. Yes, I did write the original ones in the Excel spreadsheet, but they're in the game now, so there's no spoilers. But the Halsey thing, there was more stuff to come, as far as I was concerned, that, as far as I know, has never appeared in the game, which is a bit frustrating. But it was cool. I thought it was cool. So we'll have to wait and see if it turns up. But yes, you can keep researching. There are connections. At least there's supposed to be connections with that piece of lore. So the club has sent an expedition out here to the Formidine Rift. They've sent an expedition to Hawkins Gap, and they've sent one to the Conflux as well, looking for putting beacons. And one of the things I'll tell you as part of this, slight spoilers if you haven't been to all the bases, is that they're trying to drop beacons around Earth-like or terraformable worlds. Okay, and that's what the plan was: beacons around Earth-like or terraformable worlds. Now again, that got slightly bugged in the delivery of this particular set of missions, because quite often these beacons were supposed to be dropped in Earth-like world systems, and they weren't, which is not what I requested. It was identified as a bug. It was put on the bug list and was never fixed, as far as I can tell, which is a bit of a shame. There are supposed to be Earth-like, or at least terraformable planets in these systems, and I don't think that ever got fixed. So there are no Earth-like or terraformable worlds in the system, which is a shame. But I mean, there are a lot of long-standing bugs actually to do with the lore in Elite Dangerous as well. If you'll notice in the Prism system, this has been there since right from day one. Let me just look it up for you. And I asked them about this one multiple times. We're a long way from the Prism system now, as you can tell. But if you look at the Prism system, this is the map of the Prism system. This is the habitable moon Kiona, which is an Earth-like world, which is correct. Most of the rest of the stuff is right. This one, Mestra, is right. Which one is it? One of these is spelt wrong. No, it's not that. Yeah, so Euroclear, I think, is spelt incorrectly, but that's a bit of a nuisance. But this one is Daedalian in the lore is a water world. Okay, Daedalian is a water world in the lore, but for some reason in Elite Dangerous it's a high metal content world. That's wrong. I've petitioned for that to be fixed many times and it's never happened. So unfortunately, there are lots of things like that never got fixed, that were added to the bug list but seem to have disappeared off the bug list now. So there are supposed to be terraformable or water worlds here. That's what should be in these systems to make this piece of the story work well. Well, that got bugged. Lots of bugs. Okay. But the idea was the beacons were there to serve as navigation points for ships heading out this way, refugee ships basically. If the bubble got invaded, by the Thargoids, and the Thargoids overwhelmed us, then refugee ships could flee in these directions, searching for these beacons, and these beacons would lead them to habitable worlds, or at least potentially habitable worlds where they could settle a long way away from the Thargoids, and hopefully humanity would survive. That was the club's plan. And the trick there was that remember, the jump drives of this era took a long time to get anywhere. So you're talking, I don't know how many jumps is it to the core worlds from here. So I actually worked it out in terms of rough timing. So if I just go back, let's just say Sol. That's obviously the core worlds, isn't it? So Sol is 8,300 light years away. I'm just going to divide that by 30 using calculator because I'm a cheapskate. Which is about the average jump rate. So that's 267 jumps, okay, at 30 light year range, which was about what the ships of the era had. Now, if each one of those jumps takes a week of real time in the lore, 276 jumps is about 5 years worth of jumping, okay, in the lore. Okay, so with the technology of the time that this expedition assumed would be valid, so I think we worked out about 5 years to travel from Sol to where we are now with the technology of 3270. Okay, the hyperspace technology that happened there. So that's how long it would take. You know, it would take less time for those aboard the ship because you had the Star Dreamer technology, which would sort of speed up time, not quite speed up time, but it sort of put you in suspended animation of a sort in order to get you there. Okay. But it was 5 years from Sol to get out here. Now, of course, today, with the frameshift drive and engineering and all the other stuff, yes, you saw the 5-year mission. Did you see that? See? Yeah, it's all in there. They're all in there. Yeah, so there's lots of little silly nods that I put into the thing for those of you going, yeah. Yeah, so 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds. Seek out somewhere to live where the Thargoids have wiped out our home system. That's kind of what it was all about, okay? So, yeah. I do, because to me, Elite has both a serious side and a slightly tongue-in-cheek funny side. I always try and put those things together when I'm writing little bits. At least I was, because I don't do this anymore. This is all history. This is all lore. This is all tourism now. Because I'm not writing for the interest anymore. Yeah, and the last time I did that was over 3 years ago. But it's fun to go back and revisit some of the stuff you did. So that was that was how all that was put together. So the 5-year mission. So the idea was these refugee ships would leave the core world, assuming the core, the bubble had been burned by the Thargoids, and it would take 5 years to get out here. And the idea being that 8,000 light years was far enough away from the Thargoids for the Thargoids not to come and chase after us. So it had a bit of a Battlestar Galactica vibe, okay. Quite deliberately, it had this sort of Battlestar Galactica ragtag fugitive fleet running away from the bad invasion. Oh, because it's Thargoid rather than Cylons. And then in deep space, we would make a new home and rebuild our civilization, and maybe we would take the fight back to the Thargoids and reclaim our homeworld, which was a bit homeworldy as well. See, all those sort of things were going on in my head. For those of you who played the Homeworld series of games, we're exiled to some god awful part of the galaxy, and then we have to fight our way back. And you can see where the inspiration came from, right? So I was trying to bring some of those sort of elements into Elite Dangerous as part of this sort of story, and that was what we were attempting to do. Okay, so of course nowadays you can get out to the Formidine Rift with a ship with a frameshift drive, a bit of engineering, and a Guardian boost, and you can be done in a couple of hours. So this is both Tharions and Sargoids. I love it. It's far easier to get out here now, and the club had never, one of the mistakes they make is that they hadn't anticipated the enhancement of technology that came as a result of the frameshift drive. Okay, so basically this plan, this Formidine Rift Hawkins Gap conflux mission, became obsolete due to the frameshift drive. So as basically it gets all abandoned, the bases out here are left to effectively rot, and the crews of the ship were left in a difficult situation because they'd fought their way out here over several years to get here, and their fate we will discover right at the end of the tour when we finally get to discover the megaship that did actually make it out here and is still operational. So we'll get there in a couple of weeks, but these bases were left as sort of way staging points in order for them to do it, and they sort of begin to explain the sort of stuff behind the story. So that's all of the all the stuff behind there. So quite interesting, anyway, and hope that's sort of vaguely entertaining as to the way the story sort of panned out and the way it was written. So that's the sort of stuff that we were doing back then. So the Formidine Rift mystery was sort of in the lore. There were places for players to go and explore and hang out and discover things and dig things out and go searching and stuff. It was all designed for explorers. Okay, there wasn't any pew content out here. It was designed to be weird. It was designed to be a bit odd, and you were designed to sort of try pulling various different things. And it was a bit of space madness involved because it was still 3 years ago, without engineers and without the Guardian frameshift drive booster. This was still quite a hard journey. Okay, it's much easier now than it was then, and we've got fleet carriers along where we can repair and rearm and etc. 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 It's quite different now. It's much easier for us to go out there. Hence, we can do a tourist destination this part of space rather than a tough expedition as it was. And there were these bases are there to kind of help you tell the story, but it hopefully leads you on into the darkness as well. So let's get off the surface. For those of you who are flying around in SRV, let's get off the surface, go back up into space. Now let's choose a fleet carrier that we haven't been to before for a rendezvous. And we got several here now. Tanilorn we've been to. Eye of the Moon we've definitely been to. The Nightwish, Valiant. Let's go to this new one. Okay, so let's rendezvous with the owner of. No, my stream is still here. I'm back. I didn't go anywhere. I'm still here. We're having all sorts of problems. Ah dear. Well, the frameshift drive, yes. Is it partially based on reverse engineering Thargoid technology? Well, yes, potentially. Now, we didn't understand the Thargoids' capabilities in which space, so it was a bit of a long shot whether we could outrun them anyway. That's why we had 3 destinations heading off in different parts of the galaxy. So the idea basically that the Thargoids wouldn't track all of us. So if they tracked one down, they wouldn't necessarily get the others. That's why the Formidine Rift, the Conflux, and Hawkins Gap are all at sort of right angles to each other. And they're tangential, basically away from the direction the Thargoids were coming, which of course is from the Pleiades, kind of part of space. So basically, run away. Wisdom is that. So yeah, so for those of you, hopefully the stream is back again. For those of you who are able to follow me, let's head for the Samba du Sargentelli fleet carrier. Let's rendezvous there in space, and we'll do our hyperspace jump from that location. So let's get up into space, and we'll go from there. Just going to be very careful with this clipper that's right in front of me. I hope I'm not going to clip it literally. There we go. I'm okay. There we go. It's below the horizon by the look of it, so we're going to have to frame shift. And there's a lovely view there of the Heart and Soul Nebula, so you can see the stars are beginning to thin out as well. So we are getting closer to the edge of the galaxy. So there's my escape vector. Let's head for that fleet carrier, the Samba du Sargentelli. You missed all the secrets. FDev shut down my stream. Literally, as I was telling you everything. Location of Raxler, you know the works. Sorry, I'm not allowed to say it again. One-time shot. Oh, now I'm blue tunneling. Am I going to get a mauve adder or a purple sidewinder now? I just have to wait, don't I? Oh dear. Madness is spreading, yes. There we go. Oh, no, we did. There we go. We actually got into frame shift. That's good. Right, so where is the... There's this target. Can't actually get to the fleet carrier. It's below the horizon. There we go. So yeah, so we're all heading to I've lost it. Santa. It's done that again. This is a bug, isn't it? It just changes the destination. We're going to head for the Samba du Sargentelli. I switched on my orbital lines and everything. What's going on? I don't like those. No, no one's self-destruct. I didn't switch the orbit lines on. Strange. I don't know, maybe there's bugs. Still bugs. Weirdness going on. Right, there we go. So hopefully the ship is ahead of me. There it is. Excellent. Okay, so let's rendezvous there. I'll put my wing beacon back on. There we go. So yeah, so we're here. Samba du Sargentelli ship. Let's do the screeny back there. So let's rendezvous at this fleet carrier, and we can prep up ultimately for our jump, which will be done in a little bit. Now, I don't think I've got any damage to my ship, have I? I think I'm good. Yeah, looks alright. I can see a ship over there already. So let's spend a bit of time. So for those of you who are in my wing who have free spaces, if you can, this FDev won't forgive us for this either, but if you can see if you can help us get into the same instance, that would be really good. It's always nice to have as many people as possible in the instance while we're prepping for this sort of stuff. So there we go. So if you need to dock and all that kind of stuff, so try and get people into the instance if you can. That's always cool. So that's the thing. So yeah, so they fixed the paint jobs, but not the selection. Well, that I definitely experienced a selection bug there. It changed when I was coming out of frame shift for some reason. It jumped. But there we go. And thanks for the follow. So yeah, if getting friendly with the Thargoids would unlock Polaris. Yeah, so there are lots of connection things. Now Polaris was an important system in the old lore of the third game. So if there's going to be anything about... I'm just drifting there, I notice. Let me just get my ship lined out. we go, brilliant. So if you can get people into the instance, that would be very cool. I'll just get my ship to stop moving, that would be nice. Come on, why is it saying 3? There we go. Right. Yeah. Then we can go for external camera. With a bit of luck, I can go for that one. Let's see if I can stop the yaw from doing its thing. There we go. See how many ships we can get into this instance without blowing up my PC again. Why don't you hold still? Must be a dead zone control I'm not doing right. It's a bit annoying. There we go. Anyway, so see what you can do. For the ending of the last stream, you should end up with docking on a fleet carrier and jumping with your. But yes, we should try and do that. That's a very good suggestion. Now, the Absolution, the commander of the Absolution, if he's here, he's promised me a lift back to the bubble. So the Absolution will be my ticket home, I'm hoping. I mean, obviously we're going to go 500 light years at a time, but we should do a jump with that carrier, I think, at the end of the tour in a couple of weeks' time. So that should be quite good fun. Today, though, I do want to do. Oh, that is you. Sorry. Apologies. So thank you very much. I do appreciate you offering me a lift, which is awesome. So yes, the Absolution, we should definitely do that. So all aboard the Absolution in a couple of weeks, and that'll take us home. Which will be quite good fun. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's probably just so many names and so many fleet carriers, getting confused. So let's see how many people we can get in this instance for a hyperspace jump at 9 o'clock. Now we always not 9 o'clock. Sorry, it's going to be it's going to be 9 o'clock game time. So we're going to try and execute a jump at exactly 9 o'clock off to the next destination. Now, a little bit of news where we're going next, okay? Because we're not taking the direct path. I have explained this before, but there's a reason for not taking the direct route. Okay, so we're here right now, and you can see a few people else around us. There's the heart and soul that we were at last week. Okay, so that's the entrance to the Formidine Rift. We're actually definitely in the Formidine Rift now, okay? If you zoom right out of the galaxy, you can see that this is the galactic arm that we've crossed in order to get here. And deep in the gap, if you like, between the spiral arms is this system here. This is the Psi Radi sector. This is our ultimate destination, okay? But we're not going to go there direct. And the reason that we're not going to go there direct is it wasn't quite impossible, but it was virtually impossible to go here direct in the olden days, okay, 3 years ago, before we had engineers, before we had frameshift drive Guardian boosters, etc., jump ranges were just not high enough to go directly from here to here. I know because I tried it, and so did many other people. There was no way to get out to this part of the rift. And the idea ultimately was to get into the darkness amidst here. But it was really quite hard to do because the jump ranges were very limited. Until the explorers discovered that if you travelled along the arm here, rather than try and go directly across, you could find a way across from around about here to around about here. This is called the Heisenberg Bridge. This is the Heisenberg Bridge, as it was named by the explorers at the time. Okay, it was a way to get across into the depths of the rift by using, where the stars were a little bit denser. So the star density was high. You could still jump. You still might need jumponium and things like that potentially. Now nowadays our jump range is sufficient. We can just go straight there, but we want to retrace the footsteps of the original rifters that came out this way, which is important. Okay, we're doing a tourist tour. We've got to do it the way it was done. Okay, so we're going to go out here to the far side of the Heisenberg Bridge in order to retrace the steps that those original explorers took to cross the Heisenberg Bridge to get to the ultimate destination. And we'll talk a little bit about how you were supposed to find this ultimate destination, the Psi Radi JFX CO system, at the end of the day. That's why next week we're going to go here. Now that's a little bit of a way, okay, so you're going to have a bit of travelling. It's still quite a long way, okay, so we are 8,000 years from the 8,000 light years from the core world. We've got to do another 4 and a bit, okay, to get down to here, and then from there we'll be crossing over here. Now that's actually, I know that's actually closer, but we've got to do it the way the original explorers did for reasons, okay. Now, if you do want to save yourself some time in the travelling, you can go here. But next week's stream will be from this system, and then we'll go from there. 8,000 years in terms of travel, yeah. That's one thing that really winds me up when I listen to people say, "Oh, it's light years away." So, no, what? Oh, it's going to take me light years to get that far. It's like no. But you can't explain stuff like that to people like that. So anyway, so that's where we're going to be rendezvousing next week. So we're going to be heading that direction, and then we will make the crossing on the Heisenberg Bridge to the Cyrene sector. So how are we doing? There are a lot of ships in the sector now. Read out some names because I've got a clear wing at the moment. If people want me to try and wing them in, read me out some names. I'll see if I can find you. Let's see how many people we can have. Okay, the reason we have S171 listed, that was a waypoint on the way out here. We've already done that particular one. So let me know in the chat. Give me your name and I'll see if I can wing you into this instance. We've got quite a lot of commanders here already, which is really cool. So that's really good. So chuck your name in the chat. Chuck your name in the chat. We'll see what we can do. Commander Waitar is looking. So let's see if I can find you. Why doesn't this work in alphabetical order? It's so annoying. It kind of does. It's alphabetical and it's like it resets itself. So I haven't got Waitar there. Which is just, I don't know, a bit weird. You do have to be in the Drew Wager private group, of course. So if I can't find you, I'll have to keep scanning for somebody else. I can't see you, I'm afraid. Oh no, there you go. All right, there we go. I've got you. Okay. Right, let me try somebody. Terekoff and Cosby. Right, see if I can find either of you. Terekoff I can find. There we go. Cosby, where are you? There you are. I saw you for a moment. There we go. All right, so there we go. We've got Terekoff is here. Cosby, I've just invited you as well. So hopefully. And you probably have to be. Do you have to be my friend? You should. Yeah. If you're in my private group, you should already be my friend. So there we go. I've got Cosby and Terekoff in my wing, which is good. So once you're in, let me know, and I'll invite some other folks. Keep that voice comms off because it tends to screw up my stream. The Absolution will be heading straight to the next system after the stream. If you want to ride, I'll wait about 15 minutes before. Now that would be very cool. I might do that actually. That would be awesome. Save me some time in the week. That would be very useful. So I might hop aboard the Absolution because it's a long way for me to jump. That's brilliant, right? Okay, so Watar is here. So once you arrive in the instance, you can drop the wing, and we'll see how many we can do. Right, I've got a free gap. Who is next? Jonathan Wolf. Let's see if I can find you, Jonathan. There. Can't see you on my list, I'm afraid. JT. Can't see JT on that either. Commander Ridley. Oh, there's JT. Let's invite you in. There we go. Gotcha. Oh, you're already in a wing, apparently. Ridley. There we go. A nine plan. No, hang on. Commander Hellraiser. Where are you? Let's get that in the right order. There we go. Try that. See, I mean, we might crash the servers. Frontier will probably going, hang on a minute, what's going on here? So yeah, that would be quite funny. I'll get in trouble again. Hey, it's only a game. So there we go. So that's awesome. Right. So how are we doing? It's 2040. Yeah, so brilliant. So yeah, so that's really the lore, if you like, behind the Formidine Rift. It was a location that the club used as a bolting hole prep, if you like, for if the Thargoid invasion of the bubble went, the way of the Thargoids rather than the way of humanity. So the idea was that this was a place we could run to and hide from the Thargoids if it all went pear-shaped, basically. But of course, the Thargoid invasion never really went that way, and something about the way the law was delivered changed after this period of time, because the Thargoid law that I was given as part of Premonition features two versions of the Thargoids, one called the Klaxians and one called the Eresrians. And if you know your elite lore, then the Eresrians were actually kind of an offshoot of the Thargoids, were easy to mistake for Thargoids in the original lore, and then they seem to have become a very close match for the Thargoids. Now, Thargoids in Elite Dangerous became our name for two different races. Right, I'm just going to choose random people now. See if I can get them into my list. Commander Seth Iridan. There we go. Commander Bartaz. That moustache, that's got to be in here. Commander Burnt Jello. There we go. Try that. Someone's already in a wing. That's okay. Commander Charlie Alpha. There we go. Let's see if we can get as many of you. Nope, you're in a wing as well. Commander Lancel, I think we've already had. That's good. Commander 270 West. There we go. All right, I'll see if that works. What system are we jumping to? That's a good point. Yep. Oh, those are marked as local are already in the instance. Ah, okay, cool. Oh yeah, duh. So anyway, okay, right. So let's get Anna Claire. Let's have you in the list as well. No, already in a list. So now they're not showing up as local. I understand how this works. Commander 9 plan. There we go. That was somebody who had asked. No, already in a wing. I think I don't know how many people we've got in the instance. It looks like a lot actually based on that. Electro. There we go. Let's try one more. Electro. I can't see you on my list, I'm afraid. Oh, hang on. There we go. I've got you. There we go. No, apparently you're already in a wing. Confusing stuff. It's probably getting a bit confused at this point. Jonathan Wolf. There's a lot of people here. JJ. John, I can't see you there, no. Anyway, keep doing your best. We're in the instance. Okay, we've got a lot of ships. Right, we need to decide on where we're going. Let's have a look at the galaxy map. Let's choose somewhere nice to go. We're not in a particularly scenic location today, so it doesn't really matter which direction we head out. But shall we try heading? Let's head in the direction. I know it's wrong, but let's head in the direction of the Heart and Soul Nebula. So we've got that in the background because that's going to kind of look. That's going to kind of look cool. So let's choose a star. Is that too far away though? 46 light. I don't know what jump range you guys have got. That's way too far. There aren't so many stars out here as you can see. So actually, we can't plot a direction. We can't plot a jump in that direction because there aren't any stars that way. So in that case, we will head out into the darkness. Let's head in the general direction of the Psi Radi sector. Okay, so let's choose. That looks like a. So actually, the stars are pretty thin here already. Let's jump here. It's not very exciting. None of the names are good out here, of course. Right, let's make it easy. That one is 21 light years. Okay, we're going to choose this system here. So AFOTS GTJ. I'll type it in the chat. AFOTS GTJ B9-0. That's where we're going. That's where we're going. So plot your hyperspace. Why is it taking? That's weird. Why does it take so long to plot a route? Okay. Right. So let's just carefully turn around. There's so many ships here. How are we doing for time? We are. Yeah. Okay. Right. So there we go. Right. There's AFOTS GTJ B9. It's quite near the Andromeda Galaxy from the perspective of where we're going. So that's where we're going to go. So that's a bit weird. Yeah, so that's more Space Madness, okay? So that's where we're going to go. That's where we're going to go. Now we're going to try and jump exactly on stroke of 9 o'clock game time, okay? So that is now 14 minutes away. Let's get away from the carrier. That's a good suggestion. So let's just gently cruise in the general direction of the hyperspace jump. So if you follow me, you will get out of range of the carrier. Let's see if I can get external camera looking backwards. There we go. There we go. That's going to look quite cool. Let's turn the UI off. Okay, look at there's the fleet with the heart and soul. There we go. That's quite a nice screeny. There. I've got my controls mapped backwards. There we go. There's the heart and soul in the background. That's quite pretty. What's the screenshot key? Is it F10 or F11? There we go. It must be F10. There was a slight pause. There we go. That looks pretty cool. Okay, we'll do our jump from there. So if you do want a free trip to the next location, then come back and dock with the Absolution, which is going there, which will be very handy. I think I'll plan on doing that. It will save me quite a lot of time. Alt F10 for high res. Okay, let's do a high res. Alt F10. There we go. Okay, that does look quite cool. All the ship's different characters and stuff. So, oh, plonk! Someone's just flown their courier into me. Thanks. So there you go, let me back off the speed. Right, we're out of range. Right, we can bring it back to a halt then. So everybody get in formation, okay? Everyone get in a nice neat formation, okay? I want neat, I want tidy, okay? If somebody could maybe, when we're lined up, if somebody could, yeah, come on, yeah, let's have a decent formation, okay? I want neat lines and stuff. Techeron saying, can I invite him? I will try. Can I see you, Techeron? Yeah. Oh, you were there a moment ago. There you go. I think you're an invite. Hopefully that works. So let's see if you can get a nice, nicely lined up. There we go. We're getting there. It's annoying that the zoom doesn't work. So let's zoom out. How far can I zoom out? Okay, so we're looking pretty tidy. Okay, a lot of ships. This is very cool. That Anaconda is upside down, by the way. I don't know which way's up, but there we go. Lots of ships. Okay, so we are ready to jump. So everybody form up nice and neatly, ready for this jump. Okay, this is going to look quite cool. So we are now 11 minutes away. Okay, from ready to do this jump. There's the fleet carrier in the background with the Heart and Soul Nebula there. We've even got some spooky music playing, okay? Fantastic. The Absolution will meet us in that system. There's the you are quite right, Animal Carried. There is no upside down in space. Yeah, but it's relative, isn't it? So I'm deciding what's upside down. There we go. I don't know how many ships there are there, but there are a lot. Okay. Let's take a screen grab of that. There we go. That's pretty awesome. Okay. Now, for those of you who know, I'm a big fan of 80s sci-fi and stuff. And last theme, I was playing a little bit of music. We did the Frontier Elite 2 theme. Now, a few of you made a request for a theme tune for us to jump away from this system. Now, and I have been working all week. I can't promise it will be brilliant, but I have been working all week on an appropriate MIDI file for us to play as we jump. Okay, so bear with me. I've got to fire it up. So now we're gonna do, look at the scanner. Actually, that looks really cool. Full of ships. So what I'm going to do is when we jump, okay, I'm going to stay behind a little bit, throttled back behind. I'm going to give you your cue to jump, and then we'll jump on that. Okay, we're just last few minute wing invites. Who's this? Who is that? Commander Red Lee. Let's see if I can get you into the ring. Keep trying to get people in right up at the last minute if we can. We might be. I can't. Oh, there we go. Right, you've got the invite, Red Lee. Good luck. We are now down to that's 5 minutes now. Okay, so that's let me load up my MIDI file. I hope you like this. I'm probably paying slightly fast and loose with copyright there, but it's fair use, I think. So we are ready to go. That's loaded. Now this MIDI file. Thank you very much for the tips by the two guys who've been helping me with Mixcraft stuff and old MIDI. I've now figured out how to do the timing, so I know exactly how long this piece of music is. It is 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So I'm going to start that about now, actually. Based on, I know I've got to start. If it's 4 minutes and 30 seconds, I need to start it at 20:55 game time. So there's 3 or 4 minutes for you to still get into the instance. And let's have a look around with the external camera again, because this is very cool. So this is my ship. This is my crate, Kahina's Quest. And if I zoom out, you can see all the other commander ships here out in the Formidine Rift, who are prepared to be. Actually, I'm going to do that again. Turn the HUD off straight away. So let's turn the UI off. There we go. And let's do that slow pan out, because that would be quite good for the stream, right? So there we go. I don't know how many ships here. Maybe somebody can count them offline. So there are a lot of ships, and I can see cutters, anacondas, crates. There are dolphins, belugas. I can see some asps at the back there. The only one I can't see, there's nobody bought a Cobra. It doesn't look like it. There are a lot of ships. We can see the fleet carrier in the background there. So everybody is prepped and ready to go, which is fantastic. So there we go. And there is the entrance to the Formidine Rift over there, the Heart and Soul Nebula. So there we go. Awesome stuff. Right, put your right lights. Yeah, let's have the lights on. Why not? Right. So okay. So we're all set, ready to go. Everybody should be pointing at AFOTS GT-J B9-0. So we're all ready to go. Now, okay. Timing wise, right. We're almost ready for the music. So are you ready? Are you ready? Is my music working? Yep, we're good. We are set ready to go. So I will give you your cue. So at 20:59 we will charge, well 20:58 or something, we will charge up the hyperspace drives. There's a Cobra in front of me, a blue one with a spoiler on it. Excellent. I'm glad there's a Cobra here. That must be mere mortal. He's right. There he goes. He's right in front of there. We've got a Cobra with some spoilers on, which is awesome. So at 20:58 we'll charge the hyperspace drives. Sorry, 20:59 we'll charge the hyperspace drives, and then we'll go from there. But we'll do a slow roll. Okay, we'll do a slow roll, a bit like what's that American driving where they don't do a standing start, they do a rolling start, the Indy 500, that sort of thing. We'll do a bit of an Indy 500 rolling start to the hyperspace drive, okay? But don't go to full throttle. Don't go to full throttle, because that will spoil the effect. Right, so how we go? Right, we're almost down to the 5 minute count. So this is good. This is good. We're all organised. Everybody's nice and neat. Let's do a slow rolling start to this hyperspace drive. Okay, 20:55. Here we go. Right. Okay, so slow rolling start. What speed? Let's not go very fast. Let's do a very slow. Let's do a very slow roll. Okay, just so we've got a little bit of thrust on. Let's say, I don't know. Let's go for 50 meters per second. It's not a slow rolling start. I'm just going to take that easy because there's a ship there. Okay, so about 50. If you can manage 50, okay. Let's see if I can get it spot on 50. There we go. 52. There we go. I've got 49. That'll do. Okay. Slow rolling starts. Okay. So let's get that moving. So everybody form up the wing. Everyone's doing well. That will keep us all flying as well, which is quite nice. Let's just have a zoom out of that as well. H. No. Yeah, you're right. There we go. Okay. So there's the fleet. Okay. There's the fleet. Now the reason it's a fleet. Okay. So I've got something for you here. So let's do this. I'm gonna start. You'll recognise it straight away. Okay. And I've got a little overview to talk about. So basically, fleeing from the tyranny of the core worlds, the fleet carriers, or me maybe, leads a ragtag fugitive fleet on a lonely quest, a shining megaship known as the Zuara. I'm trying to do my best Lorne Green impression there. So anyway, here we go. You know what's coming. By for hyperspace launch. Charge those drives, ladies and gentlemen. Charge those drives. Drivers spooning, all ready to throttle up. Right, we're good to go. Just wait for my signal to launch. Not quite there yet. The song's still rolling. Off we go. Hyperspace. There we go. The ragtag fugitive fleet is on its way. Not quite PSG, but there we go. I'm having fun. There we go, my friends. There we go. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. That was awesome. That mass jump was one of the best we've done so far. So that was pretty cool. I'm glad I captured that on the stream as well. So that would be really, really good. And I'll edit all those bits together. So that'd be fantastic to, yeah, for anybody who took videos and screenshots of that, that was awesome. So so there we go. That was I'm having great fun actually doing the midis actually. So I'm going to have a think about which star spacey thing that we do next week with the midis. So that was awesome. Next time the outside cam viewer, see if we can do, yeah. So what I might do is I'll see actually next time if I can park my ship off a little bit, and you guys can do the hyperspace jump, and I'll film it from a remote position. That was really, really cool. So if you want a free ride to the next location, go and find the Absolution. I don't know if it's here yet. Oh, it is. There we go. Let's. I'm going to go there myself. So go and do that. Yeah, so thank you very much for taking part in my historic ragtag fugitive fleet jump. That was awesome. And we'll carry on. Next week, we're in a particular location. Find out Blake 7. Blake 7 or Star Trek. That's not a bad idea. I think Blake 7 sounds quite cool, actually. So yeah, I'll give it some thought. I'll see what I can do MIDI-wise, because I've enjoyed doing the MIDI stuff. Spaceballs. Spaceball, yeah. We break for nobody. That would be quite cool. So yeah. So let's. I'll see what I can do for next week. Well, and the mass hyperspace jump is just a fun way of ending the stream. So that's really, really cool. But I will see you next week. You guys have an absolutely fantastic rest of the week. Take care on Friday. Have a fantastic weekend. I will see you deep out in the Formidine Rift, crossing the Heisenberg Bridge next week. And yeah, so take absolute care of yourselves, guys. Great fun this evening. Thank you very much for the company. Be good. Right on, Commanders. And of course, 07. Be good. See you soon. Bye-bye now.